What is going on? Welcome to No Chill Promos. How y'all doing? Hope you're having a blessed Saturday still if you're watching this. And I'm gonna try to do a quick speed run here of this episode for TNA. But real quick, I just gotta do a quick shout out to all subscribers to the channel and to the followers on Rumble. Still at 123 subs. The gains don't stop. Slowly but surely, the number's gonna keep on going up. Only a matter of time. But enough of that, let's get into this video. Alright? We start off the show with the system. Eddie Edwards said he's been hearing all this shit about system failure this and system failure that. Well, come Victory Road, it will be the system reboot that the system needed. And as all of you people here need to trust in the system. Brian Myers said that they will be coming after and reclaiming the TNA Tag Team titles from the ABC. Or it's only a matter of time. Next, we see JDC. He grabs some mic and all he says was, "Shut up, town." Okay? Alicia Edwards said that, which is, by the way, real quick, I'm glad that Alicia is okay. And I did that review at Emergent because it was, like, I didn't know if it was kayfabe or not, and turns out it wasn't. Apparently, she had a concussion. So, I'm glad to see she's okay. Alright? But real quick, we see Moose. He grabs the mic. All he said was, "Nick Nemeth, as once a British lad told me, I got some bad news because at Victory Road, you're gonna see the 4-time TNA World Champion, that is Moose." And Alicia Edwards says that, she did get a concussion at Emergence and that she knows her rights as a champion and that she only has to defend the belt once every 30 days. Alright, and because she's injured and she's on the concussion list, that she can find a suitable replacement for the system in order to keep these Knockouts Tag Team titles within the system. Next, we see Spitfire coming out to interrupt. We got Danny Luna looking fine as hell. She says that she's tired of the system and all the excuses, even though Alicia was like, "We already beat you guys twice," which is true, they did. And Jody then says that, "Look, we talked to Santino, we have one more shot at Victory Road, and it's do or die. If we lose, then that means Spitfire breaks up for good." So most likely, Spitfire might be breaking up for good. Okay? Like, they had a good run, but I want Danny Luna to be a TNA Knockouts World Champion. So, and then, hey, Jody could be one herself at some point. Who the fuck knows? Alright, but yeah, I think they're losing come Victory Road. Moving on. See, the OG, one of the OGs in TNA, EY, Eric Young. Basically, he was saying how he went to war with Macklin, he has nothing but respect for him, and that he was the better man on that night. And that tonight, he has to face Jake something. He's a big dude, he's a bad dude, but I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna be me and represent the best that TNA has to offer. Right then, next, we see a match between Laredo Kid and Kushida. But the match gets interrupted by the walking weapon of TNA, Perk Alexander. He comes out and he C4 spikes the shit out of Laredo Kid. He then tries to break Kushida's ankle with the ankle lock until security comes and breaks him up. Kushida grabs a mic and he was pissed off. He says, "Fuck that. I said, I want Josh Alexander now." "You ring the bell." And Kushida meant business because he was cursing his ass out in Japanese. Alright, so we get an impromptu match between Perk Alexander and Kushida. Even though we see Josh Alexander up there on a rampway talking shit to the crowd, like, nah, he's like, no one wants to see these fucking jobbers. I did you guys a favor. Alright, but he does sell for Kushida here in this match. He lets him get a good bout of offense in, but it doesn't matter because fast forward, he hits the C4 spike. 1, 2, 3, and your winner is Perk Alexander. Alright, and we see him walk backstage. Kushida is getting medical attention. We see Joe Hendry checking up on him, and he checks Perk Alexander. He was like, "So this is what you're doing now, huh? You take out Kushida, you take out Laredo Kid. Well, I didn't forget what you did to me back at Slammiversary, and I will get you back for what you did. And Perk Alexander is like, oh, look at this guy, huh? You feeling froggy, huh? Like, anytime, anywhere, pal. It don't matter. I don't care. You're like, you ain't shit. So, moving on, we see the open challenge for the Juggernaut, the current TNA Knockouts champion, Jordynne Grace. But who could it be? None other than Ariana Grace, who is Miss NXT. A gorgeous woman. She is the daughter of Santino Marella. Alright, that is Santino's kid, if I'm not mistaken. Alright, gorgeous woman. One of my favorites in NXT. But she comes out and she basically says that she is now the liaison for NXT and TNA. And that she's not the one to challenge Jordynne Grace, but she's here to announce the person that is. And here comes out Carmen Kill Bill Petrovic, another underrated talent in NXT. Was she going to win here? No, absolutely not. But she did have a good showcase here tonight. But fast forward to the finish, Jordynne Grace hits the Juggernaut driver for the 1-2-3. But after the match, we see the lights go out. We see Jordynne Grace put to sleep with a pillow right next to her. And we see Rosemary off at a distance laughing at her. So basically all they're setting up is for next week at NXT. It's going to be Jordynne Grace versus Wendy Cho for the TNA Knockouts Championship. Even though she's going to lose. I mean, like, I don't know who's going to beat Jordynne Grace at this point, man. I have no clue. But moving on. We see First Class and ABC backstage. And this might be one of my favorite moments of the night. Because AJ, not Styles, Francis, he drops a reference from The Wire.
You want it to be one way.
Man, I don't
want
know
it to be one
Man,
way.
stop! Stop saying that.
But it's the other way.
One of the greatest shows of all time. Basically, they want a rematch. ABC says, normally tag teams have to earn their rematch, but you know what? Fuck it. We're not worried about you guys. You know, you'll get your rematch. That's all that happened here. Next, we move on to seeing the X Division champion, Zachary Wentz, coming out. Cuts a promo saying how, you know, it was a feel-good moment to win at Emergence. You know, the crowd chants, "You deserve it. You deserve it." He says, "Thank you guys." And basically he was like, "I'm here to defend this belt against the best the TNA has to offer." Then we see Speedball coming out. He invokes his rematch clause at Victory Road. They shake hands. Next we see the Good Hands coming out. And he was like, "Oh, brother." No one wants to see this sausage fest between these two jamokes. Alright? And not to mention, the ultimate MVP at Emergence is my boy right here, Jason Hodge. Alright, and that's all that happened. And it leads to a tag team match between the Good Hands versus Speedball, Mike Bailey, and Zachary Wentz. We're going to fast forward to the finish because ain't no way the Good Hands are going over here tonight. And we see Zachary Wentz, he hits the UFO cutter onto Skyler for the 1-2-3. But I do appreciate that promo from Skyler. It was funny, I'm not going to lie. And I agree. I believe Jason Hodge was the MVP in that match. He's the one that looked the most impressive in that Ultimate X match. 110%. Alright, so hopefully maybe somewhere down the line he becomes the next X Division champion. I'm all for it. But moving on, we see Steph DeLander, her fine ass, trying to calm down PCO, who is irate. He wants to destroy Matt Cardona. But she calms him down, tells him to wait back here, and that she needs to head to the ring, and she has a few things that she needs to say to Matt. Alright, next we see like this weird video package for Rosemary talking to a gerbil or a hamster. Basically, she's like 2.5 seconds away from losing her shit. And I don't blame her because like they've been dropping her out in NXT, man. I don't like it. I'm not a fan. They could do better by Rosemary. But moving on, we get to the promo with Steph DeLander, her fine self. She is sick and tired of Matt Cardona. He came back. he interrupted and ruined the wedding of her lifetime with PCO, that he's been a complete nuisance, and that she wants Matt Cardona out of her life for good. But next we see Matt Cardona coming out. He says, like, look, Steph, I gotta apologize. Alright? I know I've been gone. I'm sorry, but I'm back. But I guess I need to remind you of just who the hell I am. Like, I'm the guy that went out there and discovered you in Australia. I'm the guy that got you hooked up in TNA. I'm the guy that got you on the front page of Pro Wrestling's Illustrated. I'm the guy that's been paying up for all your flights, paying for all your meals, all your traveling expenses, everything. I'm the one that's been taking care of you. And it's all right here in this contract. I own you. Steph then says, like, that's not true. I made it here to TNA because of my hard work, my dedication, and my passion to this business. My talent got me here. Not you, Matt. Alright, I'm not your property. Matt then says, I own you. Alright, you're not shit without me. If I tell you to go make a sandwich, it better be at Chicken Baker Ranch. If I tell you to jump, you better tell me how high and how far. And if I tell you to go get me a cup of coffee, it damn well better be a caramel frappuccino. Alright, I own you. You belong to me. Alright, then we see PCO. He comes out. He's heard enough. Or he wants to fucking tear Matt Cardona's head off. But we see Matt Cardona shield himself behind Steph the Lander, and he runs out like the coward that he is. Next, we see a backstage promo from the Hardy Boys. Basically, all he said was, well, mailing Matt, he was like, that the Hardy Boys haven't forgotten what the system did to us. So we still have unfinished business with the system, and we will make sure we will delete the system for good. That's all. Moving on, we get the match between Eric Young and Jake Something. Alright, this probably was my match of the night, honestly. It was a good match here, good back and forth between two of TNA's best, in my opinion. But fast forward to the finish, we see Eric Young hit the pile driver on Jake Something for the 1-2-3. So, poor Jake again, he's more, instead of Jake Something, it's more like Jake Jobber. This man has been losing left and right on this show, man. But after the fact, you know, he shakes Eric Young's hand, you know, as a mutual respect for him. But he walks away, but he turns around and he attacks Eric Young, and he hits the in the void, or I think that's the name of his finisher. Yeah, that spinning sit-outs like slam that he does. Nasty finisher. I love the way he does it. And before he can inflict more damage into Eric Young, we see Steve Macklin coming out for the save, who arbitrarily switches between being a babyface and a heel whenever he wants, whenever he needs to. Alright, even though in my opinion he's a better heel than he is a face. But he comes out to save Eric Young because he has Eric Young's respect after the mess that they had at Emergence. But next we see the newest signing for TNA, and that's Heather Reckless, who I've seen before. I know I've seen her before in some match in TNA, and I was impressed. And I like this chick. Alright, I don't know that much about her, but she does have some type of potential. Alright, so I'm looking forward to see, you know, how she does in the Knockouts division. Alright, but more on that later. Next we see I Believe in Joe Hendry. Dun, dun. He's basically saying to Gia how, you know, he can't win the TNA title, he can't win the NXT title, maybe I should just go home and give up. He turns around, does that cheesy smile of his, he says, I don't think so. Not when you're 250 pounds of pure motivation, alright? Like, I still have my sights set on winning the TNA World Championship. Now, next we see Gia interviewing Heather Reckless. But she basically says that she's here to give the Knockouts division her very best, and she's here to make a statement in the division. But she gets interrupted by Ash, by Elegance. She says that she doesn't care who you are, you're irrelevant, you know, and you're stealing my time right now. Then we see Giselle Shaw intervene, and basically this had me this had me cracking up here because they were essentially arguing about who was more successful. But I'm like, both you guys are jobbers. I mean, like, what are you guys talking about? And we see Miss Reckless back there saying how, like, this has nothing to do with me. Okay, so move on to the main event, which is Moose and JDC going up against Mike Santana and Joe Hendry. And we see Mr. Josh Alexander on commentary to provide support, moral support for Joe Hendry. He's here to cheer him on. He was like, just gotta believe, Joe, you can do it. Just believe. You can believe yourself to winning this match. Alright, but we fast forward. We see Josh Alexander hit a low blow on Joe Hendry, and he tosses him into the turn post. We see Mike Santana running out, do a tope suicida onto Josh Alexander. Santana then gets distracted by Alicia Edwards, and we see JDC trying to hold down Mike Santana for getting back into the ring, which gives Moose enough time to hit a pump kick and a spear for the 1-2-3. And earlier I forgot to mention how Moose pretty much checked JDC. He was like, listen, you know, here is an opportunity for JDC to prove himself to the system, because I don't like outsiders, and tonight, if you win, we will discuss your future in the system. So most likely, since they won here tonight, JDC will be inducted into the system officially next week, I presume. Alright. And again, we see Joe Hendry. This man can't get a win to save his life. This man, he's going on a Miz/Kurt Hawkins losing streak right here. Hate to see it. And last but not least, we hear from the TNA World Champion, Nick Nemeth. And basically he was saying how it irks him how Moose has that victory, that win over Nick Nemeth, because he's been hearing how who's the man, who's the best in TNA. And now it's Moose. And that's why he challenged him directly when we first got here. He wanted to prove that he was the better man. And I lost. But that's okay. But come Victory Road, I'm going to correct that wrong. And I'm going to prove that you can't beat the wanted man. And that's it. That's it for this week for TNA. A decent episode overall. And I'm glad to see that Alicia Edwards is okay. Alright. Well, despite having a concussion, but it could have been worse. So I'm glad that it wasn't nothing too serious, if you know what I mean. But yeah, that's enough of that. So if you watch TNA, let me know what you guys' thoughts are on this week's episode. If not, love it, hate it, comment, subscribe to the channel. It's all the same to me. I just want to see the engagement and the feedback from you guys. Alright, so next video, probably going to do the All Out review and the McMahon video tomorrow. Alright, at least I'm going to try my best to. Alright, I'm already behind on a lot of videos as it is, so I'm trying to do what I can here for you guys. But with that said, I'm wasting enough of you guys' time, so be safe, be blessed, take care of yourself, trust in God. I'm out of here. Till next time, adios.